Moss here from CHURCHx. Today I'm going to introduce you to a neat little tool that we developed called the User Profile Updater. This is a way to have your users update their profiles with information like their addresses, their phone numbers, the denomination they belong to, the time zone they're in, anything like that. Normally when people create profiles for themselves on CHURCHx, they often just go with the minimum, just their name and their email address. And this is a way to get them to fill in those additional pieces of information that might be relevant for what you're trying to do with them on CHURCHx. So let me show you how it works. Right here, I've just chosen a random course. This one is the Hybrid Worship Network course, but obviously it'd just be whatever course you're working on. First thing you do is you hit the edit mode, turn that on, and then in the main content of the course, when you get a little activity, add an activity, you click that, and then what you're going to choose is the User Profile Update right here. So that adds this. Okay, so just like with any other activity that you add, you're going to want to give it a title like, please tell us about yourself. And then when it appears on the main page of the course on Moodle, it'll often need to have some kind of a description to help people understand what this is. We like to know where you are and the context, of your ministry. Click here to update your information. Something like that. Oops, information. There you go. Okay, and then if I hit display description on course page, then this little description I put here will appear on the top page of the course. And of course, you've got all the usual kind of features. You could add an image in here. You could do links. You could put a little video. Whatever you want in the description. The next thing to change here is the message after submission. So when someone has updated their profile, what information do you want to give them to put in front of them? So I would say something like, thank you for updating your profile. Content block before the user input fields. So this is when somebody has clicked on this activity and they're looking at the fields that you want them to update. This is a block of content that can go ahead of that. So, we never share your personal information with third parties, but knowing more about you, why is my spelling bad today? About you helps us serve you better. Something like that. Often it's a good idea in a privacy-first approach to tell people why you want the information that you want. Okay, the rest of the stuff you're not going to need to worry about, except maybe restrict access. That would be, a way to prevent people from being able to see this module if for some reason you didn't want them to. Same thing here. This is activity completion. You can make it a requirement of the course that people actually update their profile. So you might have like all the course locked down until they have all the rest of the content locked down until they've completed their profile update. For example, this is how you would do that. Okay. So once I save and display, the next thing it'll do is it'll take me to this setup screen, and this is where you add the fields that you want the users to update. And so the way you do that is you just simply set up fields. Okay, so what fields do you want? How about, let's start adding some fields. So click on that. So add a field. How about your title? So I'm just going to add that. And you see now that title is on there. I can add another user profile field. Let's say I want them to update their address. So how about postal code? Okay. And then I can make these required or not required. Okay. And this type of field. So in this case, we're just going to use a regular text field. And then, you can also customize the prompt. So instead of just saying postal zip code, you might want to say, if we know everybody's in Canada, for example, just postal code, right? Then add. Okay, let's add another field. How about their image? So field, how about their profile image? Where's that? Profile image, there you go. Now, in the profile image case, you notice that you don't get to choose what kind of data goes into this field because it'll only accept an image. Okay, so add that one. I'm going to add another user profile field. Let's do denomination, right? And in this case, just as an example, instead of just an open text box or an image, I'm going to choose a drop-down menu. And so I'm going to say, what is your denomination? Now, if I didn't put a question prompt in here, it would just use the field name, in this case, denomination. So what is your denomination? A drop-down list. So this is where you put a list. So I would say like Anglican, United Church of Canada, say Lutheran, Roman Catholic. I mean, you would obviously choose the context that made sense to you. Okay, and then I could add this, and then voila, that's saved too. So now you can see I'm starting to build up a series of fields that I want the user to update, and I can move these around if I don't like the order. I can shuffle these around. So I want to put profile image on top. So now it's profile image, title, postal thing, denomination, drop down list. I can delete these. I can change them. Like I can reconfigure them and so on, right? Okay. So once I have updated all that, I can go back to preview, and then this shows me what this will look like for students. So please tell us about yourself. So this setup field and completion log buttons, those are only visible to you as an administrator or manager. The users will not see those. They'll just see this initial block, which I mentioned before, and again, that could have images and pictures in it if you wanted to it. And then the fields. So the first field was your picture, which you could delete, and you could drag and drop a new image. Your title. It knows that my title is admin, was a title that already exists in my profile, and so it just updated that. But like I didn't have a postal code loaded, so this is where you'd put like M5R, 123 or whatever. Denomination. This one, remember, we chose a Dropbox field, so now they're limited to just those items. Okay, so I'm going to say Anglican. Okay, update profile fields, and then profile field updated successfully, and you're done. Okay, and you see now it's got that information in there. Okay, and then I can click back to the course page, and then back on the course page. Okay, so it's really pretty straightforward how that works. It just basically designate which fields from the user profile you want them to update, and then what kind of data that you want to accept, whether it's a text, a picture, or a what do you call it, a drop-down menu, and then you can set whether those are required or not. And in this way, you can gather information. It could be time zone, could be denomination, could be the local church they belong to, whatever you find is relevant. So I hope you found this tool useful. If you want more tips on how to use it, how to configure it, please just reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks a lot.